welcome to the channel. It's me, Amanda, and
hello
I've got
everybody.
Mum here as well.
Mum.
So we are going to be baking again, as always. So we are using Mary Berry's Love to Cook, and today we are making a banana tray bake with frosted icing. So of course I will leave in the description box the recipe and all the rules to follow on there. So it says it makes 16 pieces and it's a perfect recipe to use over leftover bananas in the fruit bowl that are too ripe to eat. And if you have lots of overripe bananas, they can be frozen and then defrosted and used for cakes. So let's go through the ingredients and what we got. So for today's ingredients, to make the banana sponge, we do need 350 grams of overripe bananas, 225 grams of the soft baking spread, and then it's straight from the fridge plus extra for greasing. Then we also need 225 grams of caster sugar, 4 large eggs, which we got from the farm shop, 350 grams of the self-raising flour, 1 tablespoon of baking powder, and then to make the frosting we need 100 grams of unsalted butter, 200 grams of the icing sugar, 50 grams of cream cheese, and then a tablespoon of the Madagascar vanilla extract. So please make sure you like, subscribe and press the notification bell, as I upload every Monday, every Wednesday and every Friday at 6 o'clock, plus shorts on Tuesdays, Fridays and Saturdays. And please make sure that you also follow me on Instagram, TikTok and also Facebook. So excuse the noise in the background, I've just been putting the washing on, so I'll get that done. And let's get a beverage of your choice and let's get baking. So first step for this,
I can't see.
it does say to preheat the oven at 180 degrees, so 160 degrees fan gas 4. Grease the base and the sides of the 23 by 30 centimetres or 9 by 12 inches Traybake tin, and then line with non-stick baking paper. So Mother is starting with greasing the tin first to begin with, so that's all nice and grease-proofed and all ready to go. And then we're going to move on to the next step, which is measuring all the sponge ingredients into a large bowl and on a loose standing mixer. And then it says whisk, use an electric whisk until light and fluffy. So I'm going to mix all the ingredients, which is the overripe bananas, the baking spread, the caster sugar, the large eggs, the self-raising flour and the baking powder. So I've just realised I've actually put it in the wrong tin, so Mum is now buttering another tin and putting all the stuff in there, because I forgot I only got a really thin tin and it should have been the thicker one. So we're just doing that now. This is all the ingredients. I don't trust myself to whisk this, so I am going to put it in the actual blender, and then basically we spoon off the mixture and level the surface, and then we bake in the oven for around 30-35 minutes. So I've just put the oven on at preheated at 180. And then what it needs to do, it needs to be well risen and then springing back when pressed into the centre. So this is the spooned mixture. It is rather full, so, but we managed to do it. So what we're going to do is then just pour it into this baking tray here. You're just commenting how wonderful the smell is, if you could smell it through the screen. So this is the tray bake all ready to go. So we're now going to pop it into the oven. Good luck and rise, my little pretty. And we'll be back in 30 to 35 minutes to let you know the outcome and how well it's come across. So we're now going to start making the frosting on the frosted icing for the banana tray bake. So while that's baking for 30 to 35 minutes, We then have to leave it and cool in the tin for 10 minutes and then carefully turn out, remove the lining paper and set aside to cool completely on a wide rack. But to make the frosting, we're going to measure the butter and half of the icing sugar into a bowl and then whisk with an electric whisk until combined. Then I'm going to add the cream cheese, the vanilla and the remaining icing sugar and then whisk again until creamy. And then we're going to spread the frosting over the tray bake and swirl the top and slice into pieces to serve. Half of my icing sugar seems to be all over the kitchen, but never mind, it doesn't matter. We're going to put it on, maybe just lower the whisk a little bit lighter. So as I'm making a complete mess, I've decided to put it into a bigger bowl, which is probably more advisable, and then it won't splash around so much. So after all the mess, it's now come up in a nice spongy consistency. So that will be what we put on top of the cake once it's done. But now I'm going to do a little bit of tidy up because I've made a rather lot of mess. So it's been in the oven for 30 minutes and when you press it in the middle, it springs back up, which is good. So we're going to leave it there and then we've got to turn it over and leave it to cool on the tray and then start putting the icing on. And here we have the finished item. I've literally just spread all of the icing sugar on the top. We had a little bit of a breakage when I flipped it over, but we've resolved it. It'll be okay. It's going to get cut into slices anyway, so it doesn't matter. So I really hope you enjoyed. Please comment below if you've baked this or what you would do differently or what you would add to it. And I really hope you enjoy the rest of your week. And please make sure you like and subscribe and hit the notification bell and follow me on Instagram, TikTok and Facebook. And thank you so much for all your support so far, guys. Take care. Bye.